Leonard, we got the champ, Gervonta Davis, in the gym today. Just what are your thoughts on this fight with Leo Santa Cruz, October 24th on Showtime pay-per-view?
Big ass pay-per-view. It's huge. You got Leo Santa Cruz, 4-time world champion, and he's taking on the most exciting fighter in the entire sport. This is what the fans want to see. It's a tremendous fight, and this is something that the fans will gravitate to all around the world.
Hey Leonard, when you got a guy like Santa Cruz who can throw up to 100 punches a round, put the pressure on for 12 rounds, what do you think is the best way for Gervonta Davis to deal with that?
Well, Tank just has to get in the best shape of his life, and that's what he's doing right now as we speak in that next room. He knows the task at hand. I told him do not fall for the okie doke with some of the fans are saying and some of the media that they overlooking Leo. Saying, how the fuck you overlook a 4-time world champion? Leo Santa Cruz is the real deal. And again, Leo does certain things really well, and that's what Tank's focus is going to be able to do, to take those kind of things away from him. It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight. By no means will this be an easy fight for Tank. What Leo brings is lots and lots of experience, and he's the most experienced fighter that Tank has faced to this point.
What does that do for a guy? Even if you're fighting someone who's more talented, faster, what is experience? How's that really play a role in a fight like this?
Well, he's been in big fights. He's fought former world champions. He's fought world champions. And that's the reason why he's a 4-time world champion. And again, this is a fight that I know for a fact that he's been begging Al for quite some time. So, me and Al, we talk, several times a day, and this is a fight that Leo has been wanting for quite some time. And it was very easy to make the fight. And again, I think it's a great fight for the fans.
And also Leo's actually beaten everybody he's ever fought. He lost that fight to Frampton, but he won the rematch. So kind of like Lennox Lewis, he beat everybody he's ever fought.
And he's looking to put that first L on Tank's record. And I definitely don't see that happening. But I know that what we're faced against. I know that what Tank is up against, and Tank is gonna have to be at his best on October 24th to deal with Leo Santa Cruz. And if he is not at his best, then he's probably gonna take his first L.
Yeah, you mentioned the kind of shape he has to be in. Does he have to be in better shape than the Gamboa fight?
He has to be in the best shape of his life, period. No way around it. He has to be in the best shape of his life, and that's what his intention is, and he's working very hard to do that, and he's going to be prepared. He's ready for the task at hand, and I'm just excited.
Well, because some people look at the fight and they feel like Leo's best chance is if Tank gets tired in the second half of the fight, and Leo's just able to just overwhelm him with a bunch of punches. That's a dumbass reason to think that you're going to win a fight to bank on somebody getting tired. No, Leo Santa Cruz is a hell of a fighter, and he has tons of experience. He's the most experienced fighter Tank has fought to this point, and he will be the best fighter that Tank has fought to this point. Well, it's interesting because when I asked Sean Porter about this fight too, he had the same reaction you did to the same question. It was almost like an anger, like with people on the outside. It's like, what are you talking about, Santa Cruz?
Well, that's just people just get caught up in the hype. And see, that's one thing that we don't do around here is we don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. You have to prepare, and he has to be in the best shape of his life. There's no way around that. If he remotely thinks he can cut a corner and gonna come in and just overlook this guy and just hit him with two shots and he's gonna be out of there, that's not happening. That's not happening with Leo Santa Cruz.
Is there any chance going to 130 pounds could take something out of Tank, or?
No, not at all. Not at all. See, people making a big deal out of he missed the mark in his last. That was Tank's first fight at 35. There were some issues coming into the fight that I'm not gonna go into. And again, he sucked it up and he went out there and did what he needed to do. Prior to that, Tank's been fighting at 30. And you go back and look at the fight before that, and you see he came under the weight limit. So he's not gonna have no problem with it.
I asked that too because it seems like sometimes when fighters try to come back down in weight, that's when it weakens them or something. But
in a lot of cases that is true. It's all about how you make the weight. It's all about how you make the weight, and he's right on track to do the things he needs to do. He has everything in camp that he needs to have to give him the best chance to go out there and do his thing.
Do you see him like meeting Leo head on, or do you think he's going to be the counter puncher and try to box in this fight?
I just think it's going to be a great fight. I don't want to give away what the game plan is, but I know it's going to be a great fight because they have two different styles, and this is a fight again. Leo is coming in this fight with a tremendous amount of confidence. Here it is. Tank is the most dangerous fighter in both of those weight classes. The most dangerous fighter that's out there. And he's well aware of that. And he welcomes that challenge, and we're going to see what's going to happen on October 24th.
What do you think of Santa Cruz's defense?
He's solid. He's solid. He can be hit. He can be hit. And he knows that he's what he's up against. Tank's the most devastating puncher in both of the weight classes. So he knows that he can't afford to take no clean shots. But, I know, I've been knowing Leo for a while. He's one of the nicest guys that you'll ever meet, but he's a very smart fighter, too. Again, this is a fight that he's been wanting. He's running to the comp. He's running to the comp.
He's calling out and saying, I want to fight. Yeah.
And he's been saying that for quite some time. And it just actually kind of surprised me because I'm like, damn. He moved up to the weight, but prior to taking his last fight, he had his mind all along on fighting Tank. That's the fight that he wants because he says that nobody's giving him a chance to upset Tank. And he wants to be able to go in there and be the first person to do it.
If you had to guess, what is it? Why do you think Leo wants to fight? Do you think he sees something in his mind?
He definitely
or he just wants the money? Or
No.
Yeah.
Let me clear that. One thing about Leo Santa Cruz is that he is definitely not hurting for no cash. He's made a shitload of money. He don't spend money like some people do. And again, it's all about the competition and where he wants to challenge himself. And he thinks he can beat Tank. Flat out, he thinks he can beat Tank.
You think if it just comes down to who's the dog, because they're both, I imagine, dog. Do you think your guy got?
Well, there are a lot of intangibles.
Right.
There are a lot of intangibles that go into a fight. And again, I'm confident that Tank's gonna win. That's how I feel. But I don't have to get my ass up in there either. You know what I'm saying? So Tank's the one that got to deal with him. I know Leo Santa Cruz is gonna be in the best shape of his life. And again, this is a fight that he feels very confident about. And Tanks feels very confident also. So you got two confident guys that's gonna go in there and get the fans a great fight.
You've made it clear right now. Tank's gonna win the fight in your mind, right?
No, definitely. That's in my mind that I definitely 100% feel as though Tank gonna win the fight. But again, I don't have to get in there and take no punches or throw no punches. Again, Leo Santa Cruz, he has a different kind of mindset. And again, I know for a fact that he's been begging Al for this fight for quite some time.
What do you think of the?
He's not sitting back making a phone call he's not making the phone calls to his guy to take an ass whooping. Right. He don't get down like that.
No. Well,
and again he ain't taking no fight, because he hurting for cash.
Well, it's a chance for him to become one of them legendary Mexican fighters.
Oh, it's no doubt. And that's what he wants. That's exactly what he wants to do. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what he wants to do. And again, Tank got his hands full. And he knows what he's got to do. He's got to be at his best to be able to beat Santa Cruz.
In the ring, what do you think about the size? There's going to be a lot of people talking because Santa Cruz started 118, but he's also 2 inches taller. He's also 2 inches.
Don't mean to cut you off. That size shit, throw that shit out the window.
Okay.
Yeah. What he don't have in size, he makes up for in experience.
He's taller too, though.
What he don't have in size, he makes up for in experience.
Right. And just to close, it's just interesting to me because certainly, Tank's a stronger guy, but height counts for something too, doesn't it? And having longer arms and having more height.
Most definitely. And again, he does certain things really, really well.
Right.
He does certain things really well. Tank just has to be able to nullify that and be able to do his thing.
You know, ultimately, Leonard, no one's gone the distance with Tank since he's become a world champion. Will this fight be any different from that?
Well, I don't want to speculate on how I just think at the end of the night, Tank will have his hand raised. Okay. That's the way I see the fight playing out.
Gervonta's being trained by Floyd Mayweather himself for his upcoming fight with Leo Santa Cruz. Is that a plus? I mean, obviously it has to be a plus, but what do you make of that, of him having Floyd Mayweather in the gym, working with him and helping him for this fight?
I mean, it's a plus. I mean, it's a great move for him, a great move by him. Because Floyd, you know, Floyd always have a strong background training. He always been a great trainer. Trying to train your body, get in good shape. And I'm pretty sure you will have got the same way and ready to go. Even the fight will go for rounds.
Yeah. That fight's gonna go 4 rounds?
It's not gonna go for rounds.
Yeah.
Once they take the game, it's lights out.
Yeah.
Let's say Tank takes that Santa Cruz fight. Santa Cruz got a chance to pull off that upset?
I mean, Santa Cruz is a very disciplined fighter. You know, he's a good fighter. He got a lot of experience. I think it's a good fight. He's a smaller guy. You know, I feel like Tank is a bigger guy. You know, fighting at 130. You know, he's killing himself to make the weight. So I gotta lean towards Tank, but Santa Cruz is a good fighter.
Could he
I take nothing away. He's a true champion.
Could he? Because we saw with Gamboa, he has some stamina problems. If he has those problems, could he be in trouble in the second half of that fight with Santa Cruz, or?
Possibly. I think Santa Cruz is always in the gym. He's always working. We haven't really seen that from Tank, but you never know. Tank is a big puncher. You might go in there and, you know, land one big punch and it might be over. With Tank, you can never count him out because he got that punching power. No matter, even if he gets tired, you know, you never know. All it takes is one from Tank.
How many fighters you have? I have a lot of fighters, maybe close to 30. Mikey versus Teofimo, I would love to, but I don't know if Mikey's going to fight again. Davis versus Santa Cruz, I still give Santa Cruz a chance, man.
Tank, you've seen him up close for years, haven't you? You've seen him work up close, like sparring, right?
Yeah.
You think he has an easy time with Santa Cruz?
He's a bigger puncher. He's a more gifted fighter. So if you just stay focused and you know, cut the weight the right way, and I think he'll win. But Santa Cruz is a very good fighter.
Yeah, because it's almost like, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like Leo needs Tank to beat himself a little bit to win this fight, right? Like,
I mean,
conditioning wise.
Yeah, he throw a lot of punches,
right?
But Tank got, you know, dynamite in his punches, so we'll see what happens. But
how
that's a good fight.
Let's see. Who you got? Davis versus Santa Cruz. I think honestly, Davis facing Santa Cruz. Davis is gonna go back down to 130. I'm not sure he'll make the weight, but we'll see what happens there. You know, and if he does, I think he's just gonna be very, very dehydrated. But I think honestly, I don't see that fight. I don't know, man. I feel like it's unorthodox. For sure. But Santa Cruz, man, he's Mexican. He's a beast, man. He loves to fight. He loves to make it a fight. So I think definitely we're going to expect some banging in there. That's for sure.
Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank Davis.
That fight wasn't on Showtime.
Showtime pay-per-view.
I must have looked at it wrong.
It is.
Well, that changes things in my heart for the way I saw the card.
Right, because I'm like, maybe I'm sure if he saw Tank versus Santa Cruz,
I thought that was Santa Cruz versus someone else.
No, Tank.
Okay.
Tank. Yeah.
And that's pay-per-view.
That is pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But they got the fight to go at 130. I know Tank hasn't made 130 in a while. I'm pretty sure his people didn't really want the fight at 130, but to get Leo in the ring, the fight's at 130.
That's smart though.
Is that a big detriment? Like him having to make a weight that?
It's all on him.
Yeah.
It's all on him. You know, we know this as an athlete, as a coach, strength and conditioning, so on and so forth. When you put your mind to it, everything else follows. And especially for Tank, that will be my advice to him is understand that it's 130. This is my mind. I only have to make the scale say 147 for 2 seconds. You know, and that's what carries me through on those last couple pounds. You know, it's the understanding that this is all I have to do for a couple of minutes. I'm solid. You know, so he wraps his mind around that and gets ready. I love that fight too. Just kind of seeing it a little bit. My dad, I'm not gonna quote him, but I do think that that's a fight that is gonna be a fight that Tank Davis is gonna handle. I think that he's explosive. I think that he's got all the tools at this point to beat Leo Santa Cruz. I'll let you get my dad's perspective, but for me at this point right now, and I've thought about it a few times in the past, I'm like, that's a good fight, and I think that that's a fight for Tank. I think that's a little dangerous for Leo.
I mean, he's coming up from 18.
Leo's done it all.
He's fought a lot of great guys, and and just to touch upon the weight concept, Sean said that if his mind's there, he can pull it off. I agree, 150%. Because when Sean went down to 44 at the catchweight with Broner, Kenny Porter said, and I didn't know it till he said it. He said Sean hasn't been 144 since middle school. So with that being said, it's all about where your mindset is and how you prepare for that moment. And I think if he's focused, he can pull it off.
Is Santa Cruz's only chance though is if? Oh, sorry, Sean.
No. Great.
Is Santa Cruz's only shot is if Tank tires in the second half of the fight?
I hate that question.
Right.
There's no only shot.
Right.
There's no only shot, especially not for that fight. Especially not for that fight. Leo is extremely seasoned. He knows his way around the ring. He's got boxer's eyes. He knows what he's seeing. He knows the right moves to make. We've seen him do it time and time again. He's been more relentless in anything than a lot of fighters out there. And so I expect him to try to pressure Tank. That's a part of his boxing game too, is to pressure you and wear you down. You know, so.
Is he gonna need help in terms of Tank's got to help beat himself too, though? With
nope, not gonna. I'm not. You can't pull me into that. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a great fight. And let me say this, because I go as far back as the amateurs with Leo too. I got pictures with Leo, and we win the championship together in the nationals, and been on international teams and stuff like that. I love the dude. Somebody said he and I are the nicest guys in boxing. I was like, they said, man, you and Leo are the nicest guys in boxing. I said, nah, Leo's the nicest. Leo's a great guy. He's a great athlete, great fighter. So you can't pull me into is it. I'm saying Tank's gonna win. Mm-hmm. I do think that that's a fight that Tank will win, but that's a fight that you don't want to miss. It's a fight that you don't want to miss because I guarantee you that even in Tank winning that fight, there's gonna be some adversity thrown his way, even in winning. So right. I'm not even saying this is a fight that he's gonna roll over Leo. I'm just simply picking a winner. I think that's a fight that Tank's been waiting on, and if he's locked and loaded to get down to 130, I think that's his fight to take. You know, but trust me, there's gonna be some adversity in the ring, both ways. You know.
Right, because we don't want to turn it into that, and we're already writing Leo off so that if Tank wins, he doesn't get the credit he deserves for beating a guy like Santa Cruz. So
y'all can write him off if y'all want to. I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
Leo's a great fighter.
Right. You know, Tank's sparring out here in Vegas, looking good. His fight with Leo Santa Cruz goes?
Oh man, that's a sweet fight. I mean, I cannot wait. Gervonta is one of the best fighters in the world. I think he just hasn't proved it, to everybody yet, or had the opportunity to. And I think this is the opportunity that he's got. So, this is the opportunity he's got to come in and show everybody that he can beat an elite fighter in a dominating way. But on the other hand, he did fade in the last fight, and it looks like he's working his butt off. But people think, people fade because they don't work hard, but it's not necessarily that. People can fade just because of weight cut alone. You can have two guys can have the same training camp, but if one has a bad weight cut and one has a good weight cut, it can be one can look like he never trained in his life, and one can go all day like Lomachenko. So it's about what his weight is doing and what, the way he's making the weight, because he's always probably worked hard, and he works. You can see in the videos, he's killing himself in the gym. But, Santa Cruz is smaller.
Oh, Joey, you there? Oh, might have lost Joey for a second there.
You hear me, bro?
Yeah. What happened there?
I don't know. It just kind of froze up.
Yeah, but you were saying that the weight cut.
Oh, yeah, just the weight cut. Two guys can have the same training camp, but one have a bad weight cut, one have a good weight cut, and it can make all the difference in the world for the fight. It can look like two different fighters. One can be gassed after 3-4 rounds. It's a huge part. So when the fans who don't necessarily experience the weight cut portion are like, oh, this person's out of shape or they didn't train or anything like that, it's such a big factor. And a guy like Santa Cruz is just an absolute workhorse on fight night. He always has been. Throws so many punches. And it's going to be really interesting to see Gervonta handle that and go, because his whole game plan is just to take Gervonta into deep waters anyway.
Right, that's got to be his only chance, right?
It's his biggest chance. I mean, it's a big chance. It's he's good at what he does. I mean, that type of work rate drowns lots of, just drowns fighters, and especially because Gervonta, he's always in great shape, but it's not like he's a volume puncher like Santa Cruz. But Gervonta could go in there and make short night of it because he hits so dang hard. So you just don't know. But that's a fight. I mean, that's what that's boxing at its best. Two polar opposite styles coming together. Two different ethnicities, two different, like I said, styles, and just polar opposites coming together. And there's so many questions.
Final prediction though?
Gervonta.
By knockout?
I'd have to say so. Yeah.
Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank.
Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank. I mean, I'm hoping everything for Leo Santa Cruz. Hopefully he comes out with the win. Hopefully he can do great on that fight. It's going to be an exciting fight. I know Tank is a very strong guy, but he starts to slow down over the rounds. And Terremoto, he's a guy that comes forward in every round and is like more and more and more and more. So we'll see how Tank Davis takes that. But I'm picking Santa Cruz on this one. I mean, he's my guy, so we gotta go for him.
100%. How do you think it is he could win the fight?
I think decision. And if he does stop him, it's gonna be maybe after the 6th round.
Because that's when you think he gasses out.
Yeah. I think Tank usually starts to gas out a little bit, and Santa Cruz is the other way around. We'll see. It's an exciting fight for boxing fans.
Leo Santa Cruz in his fight with Gervonta, and Danny Garcia against Errol Spence. Who do you pick in those two, and why, Jaime?
Predicciones para la pelea entre Leo Santa Cruz y Gervonta Davis, y la otra entre Errol Spence Jr. y Danny Garcia.
Pues de Errol Spence y Danny García, la verdad estoy casi seguro que va a ganar Errol Spence. Yo creo que tiene pues una mejor técnica. Lo único que no lo sé es por su inactividad que ha tenido, pero yo creo que puede resolverlo. Y de Leo Santa Cruz y Gervonta Davis, creo que pues va a ser una gran pelea. Sabemos que Santa Cruz tiene ahora sí que pues muchísima experiencia, y pues lo que lo hace débil ante Gervonta es pues su tamaño, ¿no? Que Gervonta es mucho más fuerte, pero pues de los dos esperamos una gran pelea.
With the Errol Spence fight, the truth is I think Errol will win because he has more technique. One thing we don't know about is that he's been inactive, but I think he'll be able to figure out Danny Garcia. With the Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis fight. Leo Santa Cruz is a great fighter. We know that he has a lot of experience. Davis's weakness, though, is his height, even though he's very strong. But I think it's going to be a very great fight.
So you think Santa Cruz is going to use that length like he did with Frampton?
¿Crees que Santa Cruz va a usar su alcance como lo hizo contra Carl Frampton?
Yo creo que sí, estoy casi seguro que es lo que va a hacer, porque no creo que vaya al choque con Gervonta.
Yes, I think so. I think that's what he's going to do, because I don't think he's going to go toe-to-toe with Gervonta.
Winning that fight would take him to another level with fans from Mexico and Mexican Americans, wouldn't it?
Ganando esa pelea le va a poner en otro nivel a Leo Santa Cruz, especialmente con los mexicanos, tanto en México como en Estados Unidos.
Sí, así es, la verdad, pues ahora sí que sería un gran ídolo mexicano y pues también en Estados Unidos.
Yes, that would make him to a big, very big Mexican idol, and obviously in the United States as well.
So, Tank Davis, Santa Cruz fight. Oh man, Tank Davis, Santa Cruz.
Tank by KO, bro. And that's me, that's Drew. That ain't him. I'm saying he KO. 8 round at the latest.
No, like what I told you earlier, like Santa Cruz. See, they not saying shit about Santa Cruz with this little twitch in his hand. He got a little twitch because his nerve, his equilibrium been all hit. So I think Tank exposed the problem with Santa Cruz by timing him. So, I mean, I like Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz want me to fight Canelo. He do good interviews about me. He always talk good about me, but he don't win this one, dog.
It's only $10 to get to the win.
I don't think Santa Cruz beat Tank with the crowd on Santa Cruz side. It's a Mexican crowd in San Antonio.
Tank is like real, dog. Like
I like Tank's explosiveness in this fight versus Santa Cruz. And I've been watching Tank for a while. He's been getting in shape.
TMT.
So I think a well-trained, a well-focused Tank. You know what? I'm not going for neither one of them motherfuckers. To be honest with you, I ain't going for neither one of them motherfuckers. I like Santa Cruz more than I like Tank, as personally. But in this fight, I like Tank just because, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But look, I fuck with Tank, you know what I'm saying?
Everything else is coming out as quick as
I
possible.
fuck with Tank. I think Tank win this fucking fight.
Tank versus Leo. Man, Tank, you know, he's I feel like he's in his prime, you know, and I feel like he's been needing a big fight and he's been looking for it. So I'd probably, you know, lean towards Tank that fight. You know, he's a very defensive fighter. He's a very explosive too.
Who do you think wins, Tank or Santa Cruz?
I mean, I'm with Tank. I want Tank to win.
Mm-hmm. You just visited him.
Yeah, I want Tank to win. It's gonna be a tough fight, so I think it's another how Limo Tiafimo is kind of. But we're gonna see. Maybe Tank will outbox him for 12 rounds, but I think like as the fight go on, it favor a little bit of Santa Cruz because of the pressure. But I think that early on, Tank got the power. So, but I think Tank can box too. That people don't know that Tank really can box. So it kind of favor like from the outside looking in, it favors Leo. But like people who really know Tank and understand that he really is a good boxer, know that it won't be that easy later on down the line for Santa Cruz either.
Is Davis, Gervonta, is he one of the most explosive guys you've seen up close in the gym, pound for pound, or?
I mean, explosive.
That mix of speed and power.
I mean, I don't know. I ain't see Tank like in the gym, like really for.
Or even just watching him, you know, on fight night.
Yeah, fight night definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he got all the power. I feel like he got like a mixture like Mike Tyson and like Canelo Alvarez kind of like. So I think, yeah, he really explosive.
Is Santa Cruz's only chance in that fight is if Tank's stamina isn't where it needs to be? Tank, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that skillfully Tank is better than him, but Santa Cruz is always in shape, and he always come in shape. So I don't think Santa Cruz strong enough. I don't think Santa Cruz strong enough. But I will say this: if Santa Cruz somehow get through that fight and find a way to beat Tank, I think that it's really only right that me and him fight next.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the next fight should be me and him. He already had conversations about fighting me. I feel like me and Lomachenko could wait. Like that's just if Lomachenko willing to come back down to 130. But Santa Cruz is already at 130.
And already has a belt.
And I just feel like if he find a way to get through there, he gonna have to come see me. I feel like me and him styles match up. It's like a perfect style. The pressure fighter versus the boxer. I feel like I'd kill Santa Cruz though. I feel like I'd kill him so.
Gervonta Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. Some people are looking at Leo Santa Cruz maybe stepping up in weight and fighting a power puncher. How do you see that fight going?
I have Tank on the fight. I think he's too strong. He's a much bigger guy, and first of all, he's way too fast. Hits way too damn hard, explosive. I got Tank. I think that's the only way that fight can go, unless Tank didn't have a good training camp, unless he's messing up. But in that case, I don't think he is. I think he's having one hell of a training camp. I see the videos on Instagram that he's putting in work. So I think Tank takes it all the way.
And by any chance for, Leo to win, would he have to drag him out for 12 rounds?
This is boxing. Anything can happen. It only takes one punch. So anything can happen.
Based on how you did in there and the experience, what do you think his fight like Leo Santa Cruz goes like in October?
I'm going for Tank, definitely. I really am, because that power is something that is different. It definitely is different. I sparred a lot of people, and there's people that hit hard, but only for a certain amount of time. His power was there the whole sparring, and it's gonna be respected. I feel like it is.
Let's say Tank fights in spurts on fight night. Do you think Santa Cruz can take advantage of that, or that's not going to be enough to?
I mean, maybe. He throws a lot of punches. He does throw a lot of punches, just tapping. Maybe they hurt as well. And that's the thing with boxing. It's not really a one hit and then it's over. It's at that level. Yeah, at that level, it's 12 rounds. See who throws the most accurate as well. But I gotta go with Tank.
That's what everybody who's been in there with him feels, is that he's going to win this fight.
Yeah, definitely. He's a very smart fighter. Not just powerful, but he's very smart.
Right, and that's what everybody's been telling me as well.
He's a very intelligent fighter. And that's why I didn't expect really. I expected his power, of course, but I didn't expect he's very, very smart.
Right. Does he have any chance against Tank Davis to pull that off?
Well, I don't see the fight ever happening. I think Leo did promise that, but I think, to be honest, I think he's full of shit. It's just, the fight could have happened if he wanted it to happen, but it never has, and it's a shame. Regarding the Tank Davis fight, I just don't see a way he can beat Davis. What's interesting and strange at the same time is that the fight is for world titles in two different divisions. It's almost like it's set up for Tank to miss 130 and still have a 135 title on the line. But I watched him on the Wilder Ortiz undercard, Santa Cruz, and I don't think he didn't look like the fighter that he once was, and I just can't see a way that he beats Tank.
Yeah, but if because it looked like he had his best fight in the two fights he had with you, especially that rematch. You think even if he can come in at the level he did in that rematch with you, where he used his length and all those things, maybe he could pull it off at?
Well, potentially, and I think the more the fight goes on, the better chance he has. But I just it's hard for me to see a winner other than Davis here.
Cause I'm so happy, dog. Yes. Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz. I got Tank, but I think it's gonna be Tank hardest fight though. Eli, I think it's gonna be Tank hardest fight.
Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. It's actually going to be at 130 now. They're doing like what they did with Sugar Ray Leonard and Donnie Milan back in the day.
Right, they fight for two titles, yes.
What's your thoughts on the two titles thing and then the fight itself and the breakdown, if you don't mind?
Yeah, I was kind of confused on how they was going to do that with the two titles. Because I know Gervonta, it's wants to fight at 135. And Leo is at 130 because he's the belt holder at 130, and Gervonta is at 135. So I was wondering how they was going to do that. But now that you clarified that they're going to fight at 130, I think it's going to really help Leo a lot that they both have to win 130, because Leo he's a guy who doesn't have trouble making that weight, but Gervonta does, and that's going to make it tough for Gervonta to fight at 130 pounds again. That's going to be tough for him. And I think that's going to make Leo feel better and make him take more chances at they come in at 130. And it's going to be a tough fight on both ends. I know Gervonta is the stronger fighter. And probably, he probably has a little bit more experience than Leo. But Leo has something that everybody wish they had, in that he can box. And it doesn't matter if he's right-handed or southpaw, it doesn't make a difference. And I just think that, it depends on how Leo fights this fight. If he stays on the outside in boxing, he has a great chance. But Gervonta cuts the ring out pretty good, and he's a body puncher too. So that could be bad trouble for Leo if Gervonta start landing those hard body shots along with just his total strength.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Leo's not known to be a power puncher, but a good boxer. That's the reason why he has 4 more titles tied to his belt right now. So, tough fight, man. Really, really tough fight. And, again, all the intangibles for each guy have to come into place in order for them to win. So, I can't pick a winner just right now.
Tank fighting before me. I don't know if he's fighting with or without, but he's about to fight Leo Santa Cruz.
Is that dated yet? They got a date on that?
No, I don't know the date, but he's definitely from
So that fight's gonna happen. What about the other little dude, the little Garcia kid that they talking about, Tank? Is that fight really in development? You think he gonna take that fight against the Garcia kid?
He gonna fight Leo Santa Cruz, then he fighting him.
Wow.
Tank gonna make some big money soon. Like his next fight and the next fight.
Yeah.
He got a chance to make like 20 or 30 million.
Really? You mean combined, or are you talking about per fight? That sounds crazy. Now you talking about combined. The 2 fights combined, he can make about 20 million, 30 million. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
He gonna knock both of them out too.
Yeah, I don't think is it Ryan Garcia? What's the Garcia kid's name? I don't think I think that should happen. I mean, I think for Tank's pocket, that's a great fight. But I mean, could that dude really sustain somebody like Tank right now, man? I mean, is that really gonna be a competitive fight?
Nah, Tank gonna knock him out.
How would you guys break down Leo Santa Cruz at 130 versus Tank?
That'll be a good fight for both of them. I think it'll be a tough fight for Tank to make weight. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's a tough one.
No, it'll be a tough one it'll be a tough one. I mean, Tank he's really strong, and he has such a good experience. I mean, and good skills. But we'll see if he makes the weight at 130. I know Leo.
135. So
Yeah, he already talked about moving up to 135. I wouldn't advise Leo to move to 135. I think Leo, he should stay at 130.
Yeah, no. He's just new at 130 too. He just got his first fight at 130.
So,
exactly.
But it's a really good fan-friendly fight.
Are you leaning towards one?
I always support Leo, 100%.
What about you, Mikey? Let's just say if Tank makes it to 130, okay?
If the fight scheduled at 130, I actually think Leo probably has the edge because he's not the one struggling to make weight.
Yeah.
He's new at the division, but Leo's got the height, for that division. He's tall. He's a volume puncher, nonstop, 12 rounds. He fucking never, not in shape. So I think he's got a lot of experience with tough guys. So I think it actually gives Leo a better chance. I like Tank. He's strong, very dangerous too. But at 130, you might start see him a little weak, a little tired because of all that weight cut.
Have either of you gone up in weight and come back down or gone lower for any opponents?
I fought
Like, do you know that experience, like what that might feel like for somebody like Tank?
Okay, once I moved out of the division, like when I was at 126 and I couldn't do 26, I moved to 30, I never came back. Once I was at 30, I fought twice at 30, then took 2 years off, came back at 35. I never came back to 30, you know?
You keep it moving.
I have moved up recently, like from 35 to 40, back to 35, now at 47. So I've done that, but that's just because, you know, I haven't outgrown the division. I've been in, I should be fighting at 35, 40, you know? I could feel good there. But in Tank's position, he was already struggling to make 30, so that's why they were moving to 35. For him to come back to 30, that might be a bigger struggle than me going from 40 to 35, you know, or so forth. It's a little different.
Do you have any personal experience?
No, I started my career at 135. I think I only fought 2 fights. 35, and then I moved to 140. I've been on 140 since. But yeah, I could just imagine, you know, when someone grows a division and then they, you know, they pretty much train just to make weight. You know, when they fight, there's nothing gonna happen.
Leo Santa Cruz versus Gervonta Davis. I know, you know, Santa Cruz is Mexican, and you probably want him to win the fight, but will he win the fight? Do you think he will win the fight?
Dice que tu predicación para la pelea de Gervonta Davis y predicción.
Es una pelea muy dura, es una pelea muy fuerte, pero como mexicano, como apoyando el lado mexicano, quisiera que ganara Leo Santa Cruz, pero Gervonta Davis es un gran peleador, es fuerte, es muy inteligente, muy rápido, es una pelea muy dura. Yo la veo más dura la pelea para Leo Santa Cruz.
So he says that me on my Mexican side, I got Leo Santa Cruz, but Gervonta Davis is a really strong, really intelligent fighter that is going to be real tough for Leo Santa Cruz.
He's going to have to beat him on conditioning, right? Won't he have to beat him with stamina more than anything? Or
so dice que lo va a tener que ganar con estamina, con condición.
Sí, con el ritmo fuerte de pelea.
So he says, yeah, with the strong rhythm of the fight.
Okay. Will you be watching with a close eye on the 31st on Halloween when he fights Leo Santa Cruz?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of Team Davis and their, you know, everything that they're doing. Calvin Ford is doing a great job over there. Tank took advice of his promoter and Floyd and came out to Vegas and has been training and he cut the weight. So, you know, of course I'm gonna be tuning in. And then with Leo and his dad and Leo staying focused, even, you know, his dad going through the things that he's going through, you know. So shout out to his dad and his family, and hope they're you know, going, you know, getting through these tough times and also being positive and winning this fight that they're in, you know, as well as Tank and his team. So I'm going to be tuned in for sure.
How do you expect that fight to play out?
I'm leaning more with Tank to win the fight. Initially, you know, you want to listen to reporters and well, you watch YouTube and you see all the things and hear that he might be having problems or issues with the weight. But you know, I've as me watching through social media and seeing him cut the weight and see his, you know, how serious he is. You know, I'm gonna go with Tank.
I wanted to ask you about Gervonta's fight against Santa Cruz. Got to see him work today. What do you think of that fight?
I think it's a great fight. It's his biggest test to date. I think, I mean, he just got to come prepared, come on weight, come mentally ready, and just it's gonna be a great night. He got all the tools to beat him, all the smart. So that fight's gonna come down to, I believe, Tank conditioning and just his output. And if he comes prepared, it should be an easy night.
Do you think he's when he opens up, puts that foot on fellow, is he a devastating fighter?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, picking shots. He's not only his power, he picking shots very well. So I mean, that makes him, you know, even more devastating. So I mean, one of the top guys in boxing right now. So I mean, he's here to stay.
Yeah, that's some elite, beautiful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
when he opens up like that.
Yeah, for sure. The offense is beautiful.
Do you have him by? Do you think it goes 12? Because, you know, obviously Santa Cruz hardly ever been down. Do you think, or he can get him out of there?
8 ounces, you never know. You never know. I know for sure that if anybody do get knocked out, I believe it will be Santa Cruz. And Santa Cruz got to be more on the safe side. But I think that Santa Cruz is going to prepare something real well, and it's going to be a great night. I can't say how that fight will go. I just know that it's going to be a great night of boxing.
Tank Davis and Santa Cruz fight?
I am. I'm looking forward to that fight because, you know, they're going to show 2 elements. You got Tank Davis, talented man, strong as hell, fast, you know, but I want to see how Leo's going to be able to handle that power. If he's able to handle that power, man, I see Leo, you know, break him down with that punch value. But if he can't take that power, which Tank Davis has, a different type of power in that weight class, you know, I mean, he could possibly be in a position to do something extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not even, you know, I'm not even gonna just say power. If he comes in shape, like he knows how to. The kid can box. Yeah. The kid can punch. If he's able to put everything together, you know, we might see a tremendous showing. You know what I tell you. But Leo, we know how he's gonna come every time. Leo's in shape. His punch volume is up through the roof, and I think his motivation for this fight, you know, is going to be different as well. Because a lot that's been on, everybody's been going into this fight, and of course, situation with his dad, or whatever the case may be. So it's set to show a lot of my fight. I'm upset. It's not in a big crowd type of situation.
Yeah, for sure. Last one regarding Tank and Leo, he got Floyd in there teaching him a few things, working with him. He even put the mitts on and everything. Like, what you think about that?
See how I mean. Listen, man. Yeah, Tank already knows how to fight. I mean, of course, little things that you know, Floyd can help with, implement his game. Because of course, you know, Floyd is a master tactician, TBE. You know what I'm saying? So if he can help him with these small, you know, adjustments, that'd be great. I mean, but like I say, my main thing with Tank is to see how focused he's gonna come, see how seriously take his training, to see how he comes in shape. Because, you know, a Tank Davis, that's his shape, man. He's scary. Yeah, he's scary, man. So I think that's the main thing, because he already knows how to fight. Of course, with other small things he can implement. You know, fighting like that, being so young, he's very seasoned. So it's not too much that you can give him that he's going to be able to, you know, one training camp that he's going to be able to, you know, implement.
Everything's,
you know, second nature. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, for him, man, I think for him, his main thing is he just needs to get in fucking hella shape and get ready to throw shitload of punches every round if he has to, you know, and not really try to, you know, focus so much on the power. Because like I said, man, you know, even me being a power puncher, you know, coming up my career, I used to hate fighting fighters that had, you know, really high volume punching, because, you know, if I didn't crack him, if I ain't hurt him, I know I was gonna be here for a long ass night.
So a little bit like, I think the Soto Caras fight?
Yeah, Soto Caras, he was, you know, like I said, high volume puncher. Of course, I tore my shoulder.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, second round. You know, if I didn't have that, I thought I could have knocked him out because he was just open to get hit all night. But yeah, like, I had a lot of other, you know, guys that's in my career that I fought, that I beat, or even knocked out, but made it a rough night for me because the punch output was so heavy and they could take a shot. You know what I'm saying? So I think with this fight, we really want to see if Leo can take a shot like that and keep coming. If he can, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah.
I have to ask you about Leo Santa Cruz and Tank. Like, how do you break that fight down?
I think it just depends how well Tank prepares himself, because he's got all the tools to beat him, but it just depends how well he trains and he's ready for that fight. Because Santa Cruz, he's going to be in your face all night, It just depends if Tank can handle that. I think he has the tools to beat Santa Cruz, but it just depends how well he is that night. If Tank is 100%, I got Tank. If he's kind of slacking, Santa Cruz is going to catch him slipping, for sure.
Got you.
You also talked about he's smart. He doesn't get a lot of credit for that. People talk about the power a lot. Why did you say he's a smart fighter?
Él dice, hay mucha gente que no habla que él es inteligente, que nada más lo que depende de la fuerza y de la rapidez que tiene. ¿Qué tú opinas de eso? De que no es inteligente.
David es un boxeador inteligente y yo opino que sí, que va a tener un campeón por buen rato en la 135 de Mayweather.
He's a very, very smart fighter, and I think he's gonna be for a long time champion 130 pounder.
And lastly, about Tank, do you think he knocks Santa Cruz out, or how do you think that fight's gonna go?
¿Tú crees que él va a noquear a Santa Cruz? ¿Cómo tú crees que la pelea va a terminar?
Yo creo que Santa Cruz no tiene fuerza para noquear a David. Y la pelea, si Santa Cruz se para a pelear con David, se va a acabar rápido. No creo que Santa Cruz se vaya a pelear con David. Él va a buscar la estrategia de estar corriendo y tratando de ganar por puntos la pelea. Pero va a ser una pelea interesante. Yo veo a David ganando por knockout.
He say the fight is gonna be a great fight, but I think Santa Cruz not gonna start toe to toe with Tank because the power. And I think Santa Cruz gonna try to use the ring, but I think Gervonta gonna win by knockout.
Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis, October 24th, another big pay-per-view fight. What do you think about that fight, Thomas?
I honestly think, Leo gonna start off trying to box Tank. Tank's gonna outbox him. Tank gonna outbox him. Then Leo gonna sit there and get confident because he's gonna be doing possibly well first 4 rounds or so. He's gonna get too confident, and I feel Tank gonna hit him with that thunder. And when he hit him with that thunder, the table's gonna turn. You're gonna have Leo on a retreat, and eventually, if Leo can't take it, pressure bust pipes, man. If he can't take the pressure, it's over. Tank gonna stop him. But I do got Tank winning on whether they box, whether he stops him. I do have Tank winning overall.
But it's interesting, though, you said that you think the first 4 or 5 rounds is where Santa Cruz will have success.
Yeah, he's gonna take off.
Because he said he thinks that's the dangerous part, and that deep waters is where he can have success. But you don't see it that way?
I see it the opposite way. Tank getting a lot smarter. Tank working, doing what he's supposed to do. Tank doing what he needs to do to prepare for it, from what I see. I mean, I'm not in Tank head. I'm not his coach, but from what I see, Tank is doing the proper precautions leading up to this fight.
Yeah,
proper steps is almost.
It looks like when he turns that shit up on people, he's devastating.
Definitely.
And it'll be tough for Santa Cruz to withstand.
100%. Ain't no Tank hitting like he a 154 pounder, from what I hear. So I mean,
no, he is.
Yeah, so good luck to whoever fighting him, even leading up to Lomachenko.
But he's gonna need to be in condition, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because that's the question people have.
If Tank do his part, I have no question that Tank's gonna win.
All right.
He got the skill, he got the talent, he got the power, he got everything you need. It's just you gotta be mentally prepared.
How you think that fight with Santa Cruz goes?
I know how hard he hit, so I don't think Santa Cruz stand there like taking shots how he do with other guys and giving it back. That's not gonna work with him. I think he hit too hard for Santa Cruz, but this when legends come when you can prove everybody wrong. But in my opinion, I don't think that he could take that power from Tank.
Will Gervonta have 12 strong in him having to get down to 130?
Hey, I can't speak on that because I ain't with him right. I ain't training with him right now, so I don't know what he do outside. So,
or rather, if he doesn't, could he wind up having problems maybe second half of the fight with Santa Cruz? If he tires midway through the fight, you think that
could be some trouble for Tank?
Definitely. Fatigue makes a coward out of anyone. First, when somebody first get tired, they ain't thinking no more. So yeah, he could definitely get tired and easily lose, easily. But
Because Leo's just gonna, he's gonna, he's gonna work.
You know he coming prepared. He been training, so hey, I don't know.
Who would you guys have with Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz?
I got Tank.
I got Tank. I think Leo don't have that style to be there. But
Leo does have the style to beat him.
Ryan Garcia do have the style to beat him. That's my vision. I like all the regions. Ruiz has the style to beat the first one was time to beat. Why I say right now? I say Fury gonna beat the fucking good. What happened? He beat it. Like you see the fight and everything. I see. You know, I see some crap. So on my vision, because I'm not a fighter. So most of the time, like it's all the fighters taking why? Because he see as a fighter. I see it as another vision. I can see like how he can beat him. You know, like exactly like I said, we say he wanna take him out in the first round.
Also, you're not biased because you're not like just for like one fighter. Of course.
Yeah, that's why they do. Everybody do. Everybody like
the popular, yeah.
You know. But like I think all my vision is if you are like on the first fight, if you have a capacity to get a draw with the big champ, you get a capacity to beat him. So you just take out the fucking draw and do better. So that's exactly what he did.
That's how you were able to break it down.
That's how I break down.
So you really think Ryan Garcia could
Toney, he never actually really work. Like, and I know like the next time is a war. He actually, like the second time he was a jab. He didn't know when the war, because the war he lose. He's a loser.
Who?
Wait, who?
We're talking about Ruiz. Yeah.
Anthony versus Ruiz.
The first fight. The first fight.
The first one he tried to go to the war and he lost. And the second time what he did, he boxed. Yeah, he more boxed. He wasn't fighter, but that's it. That's what he did. But if he went to war, the one fight war, he was gonna lose again because he could not get control of the Ruiz.
Okay, so what's your breakdown then? For Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank. Tank. What's up?
I lean more towards Tank.
What are your thoughts on Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank?
I know.
At 130. This is at 130. I don't know.
Well, I saw Tank the other day at he came in to train the gym we train at. He's pushing like 170. So 130. That's gonna be pretty interesting to see if the one make that weight. But two, that's gonna be a nail biter for me because I love Leo. I love his family. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully everybody comes out there that fight safe, you know. So
do you see that fight going the distance? Or do you think that
I hope so. But Tank does have a lot of power. I mean, Leo has a lot of volume, you know. But facts are facts. Like, you know what? Tank is explosive. So, and he's so unpredictable as well. But Leo has that grit in him. He'll handle himself pretty well, but it's going to be interesting. I think this is something that he's never faced. So, yeah, that's why I say it's going to be a nail biter.
You hear that it's a good chance he could be fighting Leo Santa Cruz coming back when everything gets back to normal?
I mean, if Cruz knocks him out before I do, well then Cruz knocks him out before I do, but he'd have to go back down to 130. I don't think his fat ass can make 130 anymore.
Do you really think
he can't even make 135?
You think Leo Santa Cruz will win that fight though? I mean,
yeah, especially if it's at 130. If Tank can't make 130 no more.
But this is a guy, you know, skinny guy coming up from 118. Leo Santa Cruz, not a big puncher. You really think he could pull that off? Being, you know, coming up to that neighborhood.
When you can't make weight, I mean, that just makes the biggest difference, you know. It's all about discipline, you know.
So it's not a skills or a talent thing. You think Santa Cruz in better shape, that kind of thing. And
Yeah, I know. Santa Cruz also, I mean, Santa Cruz always been in better shape than, most fighters, So, I mean, and then, like I said, if he can't even make 135, you think he's going to make 130?
So what if it happens at 35? Though? What if, regardless of weight, Tank's comfortable with the weight? He's you know what I mean? He's able to bring his skills against Santa Cruz.
He's going to gas out in the second half of the fight. Santa Cruz is going to take over.
That's how you see that fight going.
Leo Santa Cruz and Gervonta Davis. Right? We're not sure if it's going to take place at 30 or 35, but Leo just moved up and Tank moved up. A lot of people think that this is a mismatch. How do you see that fight?
Leo Santa Cruz is not somebody to sleep on. Throws a lot of punches. He proved his position in boxing, But I'm gonna go with Tank. Man. Tank's an animal. I don't know how his camp's going, so I don't know if there's any change. I know that he recently went to Vegas to go work over there, and that's cool. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But in reality, if we only discuss his performance, not using Gamboa, but just him as an overall fighter, Tank got a lot of nice tools, man. He's fast. He's very defensive. He got crazy power in both hands. He's an explosive fighter, and he's very entertaining. So I'm gonna go with Tank, man. I will put Tank over a lot of people in his weight class. A lot of people, just because he has all the right tools to be much greater than what he is, and he's still got so much more to grow. He's definitely going to be a force. He's like a little Tyson. He's a Tyson in the way that he's, whatever way he decides to fight.
He's had issues making weight. Do you feel like that's a testament to him fighting at a small club?
That has to do with two things. All right, you have to. Two people have to be responsible for it, either his strength coach or himself. Reason why that is it's an equivalent to when football. I'm a fan of the Eagles, right? So if the Eagles lose, we blame either certain players or we blame the coach. That's just the way that it goes, right? But when they win, they're the greatest team of all time. You know what I'm saying? So it's somebody's got to be held responsible. So if his strength coach is doing everything he's supposed to, but Davis is doing other things and he's not reporting it, or he's not being as disciplined enough, then you can't blame anybody but Davis. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the communication's like between him and his coaches. I don't know what he does outside of the gym. I have never seen him in camp. So I would say some sorts of adjustments have to be made, because it's very unprofessional to lose the title at your caliber on a scale. You're a professional. You're supposed to come in at a certain way. You know what the contract said, so you should be on point. A lot guys that I work with, they're on weight 2 days before the fight. So that's easy work, but it all depends on the person, how he is as a person, and if it works for him, it works for him. There's nothing like I like Davis. I like Davis a lot. I would like to work with Davis, but I don't know. It all depends. It all depends on what's his routine like.
I try to fight this champion or that champion. I mean, like I said, Leo Santa Cruz, he's tied up with Tank right now. He got that situation.
Who do you think wins that fight now?
Hey, I'm telling you right now, if Tank can make that weight healthy and get down and get down to that, get down to 130 without an issue, I think Tank being younger, the stronger fighter, of course you got to lean towards that way. But you know, with Leo Santa Cruz, you can't count Leo anywhere out. And also, I've been hearing that Leo has been working on a hell of a game plan. He has things in mind that he wants to do for that fight. And you gotta give Leo credit because I've been hearing that he's the one who called for that fight. You know, they've been saying he's the one who pushed for that fight. So I feel like with guys like that, when they push for something, it's because they see something they feel like they can you know, expose whatever. But I know it's a good fight, and I wish those two nothing but love and success. But you know, I'm gonna tune in because, like I said, I watch everything. You know, I'm gonna tune in. But you know, I wanted to fight with Leo Santa Cruz. You know, if I had to fight my boy Jojo Diaz, if that was on the table, you know, I would have took it because, you know, I just want in the boxing, you got to unify titles to stand out. You know what I mean? Yes. There's too many titles. Because right now, you know, even right now, situation in the super featherweight division, you could say everybody got their favorite, and everybody will say, "Well, I think he's better than this one, or he's better." But I feel like in order for us to really prove who's better than who, we got to start fighting each other. These champions fight champions, but that's just me. I just have that old school philosophy, I guess.
He's in there working with Gervonta Davis for his big fight against Leo Santa Cruz. He's training him. Is that good for Gervonta? That Mayweather's in the corner, he's working the mitts with him and everything?
It's perfect. They have a big legend like him, and Gervonta team is perfect for Davis. It's perfect. Hopefully, you know, a good fight. Gervonta and Santa Cruz, right?
What do you think is going to happen? Some people think that Leo might be taking on too much than what he can handle. What do you think?
I think Gervonta will stop him.
Gervonta's going to stop him? How many rounds?
I don't know, but I know Gervonta has big power and all exposure.
Yeah.
Very good fight.
Yeah.
I want to see Tank versus Santa Cruz.
What do you think? What do you think about that fight? How do you think that plays out?
Who, Tank versus Santa Cruz?
Yeah.
I'm rolling with Tank. I think Santa Cruz's biggest test like to date. So, but obviously, like on this end on PBC, you're gonna get bigger challenges than on other ends because that we have the best of the best on this side. So, I think this is just going to show that he is the man of the division.
I think that, look, man, I think that a lot of people think that Tank is going to win.
Yeah.
I think there's two question marks. I think the question is, A, whether he can, whether he can make 130, and I think the other question is whether or not he can stop Leo. You know, like, I'll ask, we won't talk about the weight, but I'll ask, you think he can stop him?
Who, Leo?
Yeah.
I don't think Leo's been like hit by someone like Tank, but I think he's definitely gonna have to slow him down. Tank with punches to the body, just break him down to slow Leo's pace down.
How do you guys foresee Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz?
Well, that's an interesting fight. It's all. I think everything's gonna resume on how in shape Tank is. I think the stronger guy of those two is Tank. And the guy with most conditioning out there, I think, is Leo Santa Cruz. So it all gonna resume to how in shape Tank is. If he can handle like the volume of Leo Santa Cruz, because he have crazy volume of punches.
He does.
And he can take a punch.
Yeah,
so
that's the key.
That's gonna be the key.
Doesn't matter how good the guy's power is, if you can take a hell of a punch, you're still gonna be there.
I think people saw some of the sparring the other day. What was his body punching like? It looks like he has hard body shots.
Yeah, normal, you know. It's powerful, so
yeah.
Any punches would be dangerous. So, I can take punches. So
you're not 7-0 for no reason.
Exactly.
Right. But do you know about Leo Santa Cruz? Will you be watching that fight in October when Gervonta fights Santa Cruz?
Yeah, he's another great champion. Very, very fast. But I don't know. I think Gervonta finds out.
Why is that?
He's a killer. That's it. Nothing to say. Just a killer.
That sums it up. It really does.
Yeah.
Tank or Leo? Honestly, I don't know. Honestly, I wish both of them luck. Whoever wins, I'll be more than happy. Let me tell you why. Because if I tell you Leo's going to win, Remember, Leo comes from 122 pounds to fight at 130. Okay? He's a consistently nonstop forward fighter. Okay? Tank has fought at 130, 135. He's heavy. I don't know in what conditions he's in, but I mean, if Tank comes in at 100%, I don't see Tank losing a fight against a smaller fighter. But nowadays, I don't know what's gonna happen in boxing, bro. I mean, you'll be surprised at the shit that happens. But it's gonna be a good fight because Leo Santa Cruz is gonna bring the fight, and Gervonta is gonna, hold his ground. So it's gonna be a good fight. Whatever happens, I'll be happy. Yeah, Tank started at 126. He did, but remember, Leo Santa Cruz was a 122 pounder. I mean, if you start moving up in divisions, your power is not the same. There's been a few fighters out there that keep moving up in divisions and maintain the power. Tyson and Roy Jones. If Mike Tyson don't knock out Roy Jones in the first round and he gets tired because of his age, I think Roy Jones will box him around. Remember, at that age, punches hurt more. They do more damage. They're not young anymore. There's Bobby Jones, Bobby Mo, the champ. Sparring today, okay? Obviamente, personalmente, mucha gente quiere que gane Leo. Let me tell you something, Daniel. The business of the sport is this. Leo Santa Cruz is a more attractive fighter for the business of the sport. Simple as that. Who do I got on my pound-for-pound list? Terence Crawford, all the way. Saludos a la gente de España. José Baena, Crespin, saludos. Yeah, Mike Tyson will beat the shit out of Roy Jones. I mean, he's a heavyweight, and he has a lot of power. But I just think that age is a factor now. I mean, punches hurt more at that age. I mean, but I just think that if Roy Jones can avoid those big shots in the early rounds and Mike Tyson gets tired, I mean, Roy Jones can pull it off just by moving around, hitting and moving. What do you think, Manny? What's your opinion? Mike Tyson, Roy Jones?
I want Mike Tyson to win, but...
Oh, yeah, of course, everybody.
That is true. The old age,
yeah,
punches hurt more. Hell yeah.
Saludos a mi amigo Alex. Yeah. Saludos a mi amigo Alex Rivera, Puerto Rico, toda la gente de Puerto Rico. Vamos a tener el día 30 de octubre aquí en Fantasy Springs una gran pelea. Rashidi Alice versus Alexis Rocha. Would you advise Leo to box more against Tank? Look, FightHype. Leo's not a boxer. Leo is just a forward fighter, and he's consistent. If Tank has problems making weight because he's always undisciplined and he's not 100%, Leo will wear him out. By the 4th, 5th round, with his pressure, he'll wear him out. The real, yes, of course, Mike Tyson still hits. That's the question. But when he gets hit, I mean, of course, I mean, there's a lot of people that can still fucking punch. But when they take a punch, how are they going to react? Un saludo para mi papá. Un saludo para José Garrido Paredes y Andrea Emperatriz Sánchez en La Molina, Perú. Gracias, un saludo. Te mando un fuerte abrazo a toda la gente. Tank going to knock out Leo out in 8. It could happen because, I mean, believe me, I won't doubt it because Tank is a bigger boy. He's bigger. He hits. He can box. Bobby Jones, salam alaikum. Yeah, I mean, if you really look at it, stylistically, statistics of boxing, Tank is the bigger fighter. He hits harder. He's a bigger boy. I mean, if he catches Leo with a good shot, he could hurt him because he's bigger, he's stronger. After the weigh-ins, he's gonna rehydrate and he's gonna be big.
How would you break down Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz if it happens?
I've heard the rumors about possibly like in May, right? That's what I heard. So I think, well, first of all, we want to know what weight class are they fighting, 130 or 135?
130. If it were to happen.
See,
I believe.
I don't know. So
Well, that's what Leo said a while back, that he believes that if they were going to fight, it'd be 130.
that's a good chance for Leo then, because that's gonna hurt Tank more to come down to 130 because he's already 35. But at the same time, naturally, Tank is strong, 130, fucking dangerous. Leo is a volume puncher. I think it'll be a very entertaining fight. Who would win? Hold on. I mean, it depends on a few things. If Tank comes in very hurt from weight, from cutting weight and everything, then Leo has a good advantage, good chance of winning. If Tank is fucking solid and good, then he could possibly win, because Leo's not gonna be strong enough to beat a big guy. Leo started at what, 118? So he's
he's moving up, yeah.
He's tall, but he's always been very, very skinny, very thin. Physically, he's not a big guy. So I think at that point I would give the advantage to Tank. But like I said, it just depends on how Tank comes in to the fight. I think that's gonna be the biggest difference. If Tank comes in good and makes weight without a problem, which is not very likely, but if he does, then Tank will probably have the advantage. But if he comes in all fucking drained and tired and fucking sucked up like crazy, then Leo has a good chance, because he could fight fucking 12 rounds, not stop, fucking 1,000 punches in a fight.
Yeah.
And that'll be the difference.
Gotcha.
So I think if it happens, it'll be a very good fight.
Just because I know you're from the DMV area, I know you fought him twice, Gervonta Davis. How do you see his fight going in a couple weeks against Leo Santa Cruz?
Man, I think he's going to do great. For the naysayers, I think he gonna turn their heads, man. He gonna wow them. A lot of people are going to be wild and shocked if they don't think that he's ready, or you know what I'm saying. Even though he's the favorite, there's a lot of people talking about, oh, maybe he's not ready to fight, Leo's caliber fighter or anything like that. But he gonna shock them people.
What do you think, Lamont, if because Leo's kind of giving away his game plan a little bit, if he tries to box, use that length like he did against Frampton, and then kind of bank on Tank getting a little more winded in the second half of the fight and then pressing him? What do you think of that kind of game plan, Lamont?
That's not – I don't know. I mean, it might suit him. It depends. It all depends on how he executes it, but that don't sound too smart to me. Leo is not a better boxer than Tank, far as, just skillfully, with movement and things like that. Leo's good at what he does, combination punching and sometimes pressure, relentless pressure with a lot of output. I think he should stick to, his strengths in the ring, because once you get a guy that makes you change your game plan, that's already an uphill battle already.
Gotcha. Do you have a Gervonta by decision or by a stoppage knockout?
I'm gonna say knockout 8-10. 8-10. That boy, he got some pop. So we'll see. I honestly think it's gonna be a good fight, though. I don't think he's gonna, blow him out the water or anything like that. I think it's gonna trickle down to a good fight, and I think Tank will probably catch him in exchanges or anything like that.
What was your assessment of Tank Davis?
He's sharp. I don't think Leo gonna have the speed or the reflexes. You gotta have some. I feel like you gotta have some power. You gotta be able to. You gotta be able to hold your own in there. Tank and beast.
What'd you think of the punching power?
He cool. He got some power. He can crack. Yeah, he can crack.
For sparring guys 130, 135, was he like maybe the best puncher you ever sparred?
Nah. It's a hitter. It's a Mexican fighter I haven't sparred. His name Pablo. He can hit. Pablo can hit.
So is he number 2 behind Pablo then, or?
Yeah, I'll give him to that.
As in power level.
Power level. Yeah. Probably second. second. He got some pop.
What'd you think of the skills?
Good timing. He's sharp. Good. He on point. He on point.
What do you think? What do you think? What happens to Santa Cruz? Should he try to push the pressure? Is that not why? Should he try to box based on?
You gotta have some. You gotta have some spring. You know what I mean? I feel like you gotta have some spring. You gotta have some type of athleticism.
Right.
You know what I mean? In there with Tank.
You gotta have that rhythm. You gotta have that rhythm. If you ain't got that rhythm, it's over.
You gotta be able to move. You gotta be able to move. You gotta be able to take a punch, give a punch.
And remember what I just said.
And actually, that was Gervonta Davis pulling up in a Lamborghini. You're going to be watching his fight on the October 24th?
Of course. You know, that's a great fight right there. I'm very excited for that fight. I know them both. I've been in the ring with both of them, and I just can't wait to see that fight.
Now, you know, Leo Santa Cruz puts pressure on like yourself. When you put on pressure, it's a lot of angles and things like that. Do you think Leo possesses enough of that stuff to give? He's an underdog. Do you think he has enough to give Tank a run for his money and maybe even beat him with his pressure? Or
yeah, he's got good defense. Tank is very strong, very powerful. So it's going to be a tough fight for both of them, I think so.
What's it like? I'm sure you've seen Tank spar up close. What's that like? What kind of talent does he have up close?
He's got talent for sure. He's very powerful, very explosive, and he possesses a threat to anybody in the ring.
We're far away, but can I get a quick prediction from you on how you think that fight goes down?
That's a tough one. I can't.
There's gonna be a lot of people counting Santa Cruz out.
Yeah, you can't count Santa Cruz out. He's I feel like he's really matured into his 130 body, and but Tank, you know, he's a beast at 130. So it's gonna be interesting to see it play out. You know.
Let's go to Sean Zittel with FightHype. Sean, go ahead.
Hey, champs. Just wanted to start with Leo Santa Cruz. Leo, you know, the one fight we saw from you with Carl Frampton in the rematch, you really boxed a lot and used your legs. Is that kind of the game plan you're going to have for Tank, at least in the first half of the fight, and the second half go back to that aggressive style? Or are you just going to maybe even try to box all 12? What do you think, Leo?
Well, the truth, you know, we have to fight like that. We have to fight from the outside because we know Tank could hit. We know if he catches me, he could hurt me. So we're going to try to box, you know, all 12 rounds. But you know me, I try to give the fans a great fight. So I think I'm going to try to go in, brawl with him, you know, give a great fight, exciting fight, you know, back and forth, throwing punches. But if I feel that, you know, I could take his punches, I'm going to stay there and, you know, make it a fight. But if I see he could, you know, he hits hard that he could hurt me, I'm going to be smart, and you just got to fight a perfect fight to go out there and just, you know, make it to a 12 round.
And Gervonta, I know Floyd, in working with you this camp, he's always preaching about boxing skills, and even though the power is there, you know, try to win every round boxing. But at the end of the day, no one's went the distance with you since you become a champion. Will this be any different? Do you think he won't be able to take the power when it's all said and done?
I just, you know, I can't say what he could take, you know, till we get in there, you know. So I'm just more focused on, you know, putting on a great show, you know, giving the fans, you know, a exciting fight, you know, and once again, the fans won, you know, people that, you know, tune in on pay-per-view win, you know, and I'm just blessed to be here. I'm happy to be here, and just want to give a, you know, a great performance. That's why I'm working so hard in camp, you know, just to, you know, give my appreciation back to my team for putting me on this platform, you know. So I'm definitely working hard each and every day, and come October 31st, you definitely don't want to miss it.
And lastly, Floyd, you know, in working with Tank, can you share with us anything you've given him in dealing with a fighter like Santa Cruz, who's aggressive, throws 100 punches around? I know you dealt with guys like Maidana, who did some of those things. Could you share with us, you know, any of the tips you gave Tank for this fight with Santa Cruz?
Well, you know, you was in training camp, so you had a chance to, Sean, you was in training camp, so you had a chance to, of course, be there. You know, I've been knowing you since you was young, because, you know, I'm a lot older now, and I'm, you know, a veteran in the sport. But just, you know, I'm proud of both fighters just for stepping up, giving the fans this fight. You know, I can't, you know, I'm always giving Tank a lot of advice. And the advice that I'm always going to give him is some advice that is not for everybody, because everything ain't for everybody. And the advice that I give him, I can't reveal it. Just like, what's the game plan? When you guys ask, what's the game plan? You think that I got to where I got to, given my game plan. So every time when I went out there and I spoke to the media, as well as like when I spoke to the media and the people when they wanted to know my game plan, I never really gave my game plan, because you don't give your game plan. Your game plan is for yourself. You guys will eventually see the game plan. But like me as a fighter, I was just very, very versatile when I was fighting. And what a lot of people don't know is Leo is versatile, because Leo showed one time that he can box on the move. And even like Tank, a lot of people don't know that Tank boxing skills is really better than his power. He just didn't have to use his boxing skills, but Tank can really, really box his ass off. And so when we're in a boxing gym, Sean, as you've seen me tell Tank a lot of times, stop always resorting just to your power and use your boxing skills. And that's what Tank did in this training camp.